Aries, thank you for tuning in to Perfectly Imperfect Tarot. This is Green Eyes here with your reading. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Martians, astronauts. Pick a mood. It does not matter to me. I love you all. Cross watchers, I am a snitch. I'm telling you now. Please don't curse me in the comments. Love you too. Aries, this is a judgment-free zone, but you will hear the truth. No gender or age, only energy. You're going to hear me use terms he, she, her, him, they, them, it, heifer. Pay it no mind. Feel the energy. Remember, roles can always be reversed. Aries, I thank you. Like, share, subscribes, emails, comments, love tokens, donations. Thank you. Thank you. And I thank you again. Absolutely. All right, let's talk about your energy. I feel charged. You know, maybe you got a good night rest. You're maybe taking vitamins, eating better. I feel charged. I don't know how to explain that. I just feel very focused. My focus is good in your energy. Okay, I like that. I also like that everything, I don't know how to say that. I'm happy that everything that I'm thinking of in your energy, I can handle. You know how sometimes you're in the dark about how you're going to handle things, or we may come to that fork in the road. What should I do? I don't feel that in your energy at all. I'm very confident in your energy. Whatever's on the table for me to address, I know I can deal with it. Even if I have to put it in order, I can do this first, I can do that, I can do that, things like that. I'm very optimistic in this energy. I'm charged. I don't know how else to say it. I'm charged. Like, let's go. Let's go. 2 times. Hello? All right, let's see what's going on. Because this isn't broke, so we're not going to try to fix it. How about that? We're pulling from the Awakened Soul. And I have Aries. And these cards are funky. Silence is what you're pulling. That's why you're charged. You're keeping a secret. Are you moving? That's why you're charged. Silence is golden, is what this card represents. It's she's holding keys. There's keys here. So you may be moving, making a large purchase. Definitely doors are opening for you and you are on ready. You might be, I feel like I'm investigating here. Hold on, how do I say that? You might be looking into employment in another state and you're just trying to hear from that employer before you say anything. Even in this labyrinth energy, she's literally standing, beginning a maze, but I'm charged. I'm willing to, I can see the opening at the other end with this labyrinth energy. So I'm willing to figure this out and so that I can make this work. There's the magic. That's how you make it work. Utilizing your resources, tapping into your divine energy, divine and holy. Okay. Manifesting. All of these things are here. I am so charged in this. I'm ready. Forgiveness is even here. I love that for you. I feel that it's I don't feel like it's a sorry forgiveness. It's more like it's a freedom forgiveness. It's an understanding forgiveness. You know, I understand where I kept myself small. I kept myself stuck. I allowed myself to get caught up. You know, things like that. There's a realization in this energy. But boy, oh boy, is there some changes and challenges. And I'm charged. I'm welcoming. It's not, I don't want problems in your energy, but let's go. I want to face what I need to face in your energy. You know what I'm saying, Aries? I want to face it. If this is the issue, let's go. If this is the source, let's go. If this is the root, let's go. If this is the meat and potatoes, I'm hungry. Let's go. You know, that's how this challenging energy comes in. You know, it's like even with behind it, because there's a gratefulness. You're grateful for your obstacles in life. You're grateful for your challenges in life. You know, you're understanding how maybe you were a kind of person that could only be taught or molded or led in a certain way, you know, because of your strength and authority. Oh, I'm liking this, Aries. Golly, I am charged. Let's go. Let's get some meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes, please, for this energy. Let's stick to basics. Let's do Rider. Because like I said, it ain't broke. So we're not trying to fix it. We don't need nothing new and improved. No fancy this and that. Let's just get to the old grease and water. I don't know how to explain that. If you know, you know. All right. Can I have the core for Aries? Thank you. Justice. Coming in sideways too. Libra. But this is a time of justice. Okay? 3 of Swords at the bottom. Equality, fairness, righteousness, integrity, restoration. All of these things are included in justice. But yours is coming in sideways because there's 2 sides to this story. It's 2 sides to the situation, 2 sides to the fence, 2 sides of the coin. In some ways, you are becoming who you're meant to be. In others, you're realizing when you weren't. You know, when you really didn't operate at your full potential. Maybe you have been or subject to unjust situations where you may have stood silent when you should have spoken loudly. Things like that. All right? But overall, 10 of Cups underneath, you know once you get through this, happiness is on the other side. Can I have the crowning energy for Aries? And here's the 10 of Swords crowning you because you are trying to learn how to release past hurts, betrayals, old mindsets, old thoughts. You know, it's hard to, you know, when you, let me give you an example. I actually just saw a meme about it, and it was funny because my daughter and I just talked about it. Today's cars have that screen, you know, you can see behind you. All of them have it. Even the like smaller cars, they all have that like little screen. And my car doesn't have it. I've never actually owned a car that had it. So I back up, but I've been driving longer. I don't even know how to, when I drive my daughter's car, I don't even use that screen because she's like, it's right here. And that just, you understand what I'm saying? The new technology for me is I'm used to turning around. And it's kind of like that's what you're in the process of trying to learn, how to use the screen, you know, how to know what's behind you by looking in the rear view mirror and not having to fully turn around and deal with what's behind you. Did that make sense? It's still there. You can see it in the rear view. You don't have to completely turn around to face it, but you're learning that by loving yourself more, understanding what's in the past, what's behind you, and you see it in the rearview mirror. So you know where it is, but you don't have to turn around. You know it's there. Okay? Let's see what's working against you. What's in the way? What's working? The Knight of Swords. This is a motor mouth right here. You know, Aries, some people mean well. They think they do. They say they do. And they don't. They just bring more confusion. You know, they're just quick to say anything. Anything. excuse me, they're really quick to say anything, and that's going to work against you if you connect with that energy right now, or if you operate in that energy. You've been silent for a reason. You're watching things unfold. You're watching the layers peel back in your life, you know, and you're really stepping into a place of ownership of your direction. So when people or information doesn't make sense, or it seems like it pops out of nowhere and it's bringing with it confusion, it's basically there. It's kind of like an enemy's using a tactic to diplomatically force you into a state of fear, you know, force you into a state of confusion, force you into doubt. All right, that what the choices that you're making about your life could possibly be the wrong choices. And the difference between your understanding of where you are in your life and this person here, or this energy here, is that you're starting to understand that there was never any such thing as a wrong choice. You're starting to understand the ownership of destiny, the ownership of journeys, the ownership of lessons and blessings. You understand? The ownership of the understanding of justice. Some things just had to be, just for the sake of justice. Giving and receiving. Because the scales don't have no feelings. The scales don't. They don't have feelings. Okay? Where's this coming from? Hello? Charged. I told you. You're coming from charged, baby. I mean, this is Betty and Wilma. Charge! This is boomstick energy. That I don't need the fertility of it, the power of it. You know, fertile energy, very abundant. You're ready to take on whatever it is that you got to take on. Let's go. That's why you're standing at this labyrinth. You're not focused on how many twists and turns you got to make to get through it. You're just looking at the exit on the other side, because that's the only thing that's important. You understand? So it seems like you got charged up, and then as soon as you got charged up, like, I'm going to make this happen, somebody said to you, or you received some kind of information that made you stop and say, oh man, God, is this the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? You know, be careful, my loves, because some people use their resources and power to slow you down. But it's up to you to keep emotional balance. Tap into your ancestors, holy and divine, okay? That's going to keep pushing you forward, for sure. Where are we going with this for Aries? Future energy, please. Well, we don't do the floor. Oh, something did turn over. Okay. 4 of Cups, future energy. And I'll take it, because that means they're starting to focus on quality and not quantity. You're focused on the real. You're inspecting a little more than, instead of just putting stuff up on your shelf. You want to check it out, make sure it's legit. You know what I mean? Is this worthy? Is it organic? Is it authentic? Is it beneficial? Are these waters clean? You know? Is the cup clean? So as you're trying to, you know, cross this threshold of, Lord, tell me what to do and I'll do it. When you get across that threshold, you'll realize that you have the resources to manifest. You have the resources to get through, to overcome, to stay on task, stay on your path, moving forward with emotional control, past life assistance, but still moving forward. Realizing that what you've done where you are is enough, and now it's time to reap some benefits of what you've already accomplished. Okay? So as you're tossing back and forth, new experiences with new emotions, as well as immature experiences with immature emotions, you're seeing areas where maybe things have weighed you down because you held on too long, or things that may have seemed extremely difficult just because it wasn't even for you to bear, you know? So as you focus on your own independent emotional fulfillment, you'll align with your true love in life better, and you'll align also with the destiny that's set forth for you because you're in awareness of what you want and who you are. That's what's going to make you look back and say, man, I did that. Oh, did you see that? I did that. Yep, I did that. That's that Six of Wands. You know, I did that. That is, I'm telling you, this is it right here. I did it. Okay, now what? That's the thing. When you cross over a threshold, when you accomplish a milestone, what's awaiting on the other side of that, right? Well, on the other side of that is your confidence, is your focus, is your passion for life. You're still friggin' Aries. But life is changing. And it's changing without your say-so. It's changing not within your control. Things are dying, people are dying, places are dying, but you are being reborn into a new timeline or era or chapter or season, okay? And it's like all of a sudden, you're in a space where you're healing and you're realizing that the journey of this thing called life can sometimes be misunderstood, cold and cruel, but God has always been God. You know, you had to see it from a different perspective in order to see it. That's what the Hangman is. You had to see it from a different view in order to see it. You had to put on your godly glasses, process it with a godly mind. You had to see where maybe some social interactions were holding you back. This is really maturing you. This is really giving you control over you emotionally responding to things so that you are effective and intelligent when it comes to little things. And you're very aware and clear when it comes to bigger things that you're going after. This stage of life doesn't come without shoulda, woulda, couldas, because we all shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay? We all shoulda, woulda, coulda. But the wheel is still turning. So while you're receiving blessings, you're giving lessons. While you're receiving abundance, you're giving karma. You know, the wheel is turning. And you're celebrating these moments in life, these victories in life, this 1111 portal energy, because it's a realization. I'm charged. I'm leveled up. Let's go. You know? So you might be learning now that you recognize it, I don't want to mess it up. I want to have peace. I want to make peace. I want to live in peace. And I want to make it comfortable. I will speak my peace and my mind, if need be, when I feel like something is not quite right. Because I'm staying focused on this move, this change, this closure, my world. So in the meantime, it might be stressful to be quiet because you're trying to figure things out without nobody knowing really what you're doing. You're very defensive about that, but you're getting a lot of information and you're realizing a lot of hurtful things as well, especially when it comes to family. Your family might not be in support of your move, of your change, but you're aware of that. You're still happy, you're still charged, and you're still going. Aries, congratulations. That's all I can say. Congratulations. This is awesome sauce. And I hope it helps. Now, if any event you say, Green Eyes, listen, I don't know you. You don't know me. This is not my life. I'm okay with that. Please check your moon, rising. Don't take the energy if it's not yours. Leave it here for someone else. Everybody, thumbs up, subscribe. Make sure you guys are notified of future readings. It's free and it does support the channel. If any event you're looking for a private appointment, I respond to email request only. My email is perfectlyimperfecttarot@gmail.com. If you do like what you get here, guys, if it helps you, feeds you, even if you're simply entertained, please sow where you come to eat, okay? I eat off of what you sow. Throw me a bone. Donation information is below the video. There's also links for CashApp and PayPal for your convenience. In advance, thank you. Other than that, please remember, we are all perfectly imperfect. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.